Okay. Lights, camera. It's good. And action. Actually, hold on. Camera. A little bit of angle. All right, cool. Welcome back to another fly tutorial. You know who it is. It's brother. I'm coming back at you with another one. This will be heavy MIDI intensive. Um, Not insanely brainy, but brainy enough for you to be kind of advanced. Um, yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Before you start, you'll need a live. You'll need a not necessarily a core control, but you'll need a I guess you want to say a controller or control surface. Um, a lot of companies make them. So yeah, you'll need a controller and you'll need a USB. Um, Actually, let me pan it just a little bit. You'll need a USB hub. Doesn't necessarily have to be powered for this. You would if you need a microphone, but don't need a mic on this. So, all right. So make sure everything's plugged in before you start your MPC, and then you can get started. I'm gonna check the hue on my screen to see if I need to turn the lights out or not. I might need to turn the light out. So go ahead and boot up. Bing, bing. Boot the MPC up. It'll run all the scans to make sure it knows what's controlled. I should get a light here soon. After that scans up, good. Get the MPC booted. Almost at 5K. I'm at 4.7. You guys know I got a 5K giveaway. I'm giving away an MPK Mini Play at 5K giveaway. All right, so let me go ahead and take a seat. The first thing that you need to know when you get started is MIDI is 100% 100% increment controlled, and so you can control notes, volumes, panning. You can control automation. You can control muting, soloing, programs, tracks. You can control the fader. So that needs to be said. All right. The first thing to do is to go into the MIDI settings. And so what I'm going to do is basically show you a couple things, then I'll go there. So first thing you want to do is go to two separate settings. Then you'll be able to learn from there. This is just, the basics. I'm going to go to Pad Mixer. And so inside of Pad Mixer, you'll notice you have your volume control, you'll have your panning, you have your muting, and you have your soloing. Those are the main elements of what I'll be showing you how to control. All right. Also, if you note in the program, I'll show you how to do those same effects on the program, which affects the channel mixer. And once we get that down pat, you'll be good to go. All right. So let's get started, or let's get into it, as they say. You want to go from the main screen, right, into the menu. Then you want to go into MIDI control. For MIDI control, you'll get this screen. You don't need this screen. You need to go to the bottom left, from hardware to XY to MIDI learn. When you're in the MIDI learn section, that's just like mapping out in any other DAW. So you guys that are coming from like Ableton or some other DAW like Pro Tools or Sonar, you probably have some MIDI mapping experience. It's a lot different in the live, so That's why I'm doing it step by step, because that's important. First thing you want to do is turn on the learn um, codec, and then what you want to do is add. So once you add, you have a blank, I guess you want to say allocation. It's waiting for a signal. So at this point, you would send a signal to the live through whatever you're using, whether it's a keyboard or a pad controller, or in this case, a KORG control. The first thing I'm going to do is move the fader, and the fader should give us a nice MIDI signal. Okay, so you see here, it's on channel 1, MIDI channel 1, and it knows what type of information it's receiving. So from this point, what we need to do is go into the source, which what we want to do is control a track or a pad. So in this case, we're going to control A1. Now you can either press your main knob to get a drop down menu. What I like to do is to just scroll over to A1 or whatever I'm controlling. So A1 is pad 1. And from that point, once we identify the source, then we want to go to the target. And the target tells the MPC what function that we want to control with this fader. So I'm going to scroll over to level, and we're good to go. So I want to add another function to A1 as well. We'll allocate a new, we'll create a new allocation. And this time I'm going to turn the knob and receive the signal. My source is going to be A1 again. And this time my target is going to be panning, because I like the panning to be on my knob. Right? We'll create another one. Okay. This time we'll use the first button up top, and I like this to be. We'll make it for. I'm sorry. We need to create a source. A1. This time my target will be pad solo. We'll create another allocation, and we'll make it A1 as well. But this time it will be, let's see, pad mute. Okay, pad mute. All right, and you can move on to the next one, but at this point, I'm done with the first part of this tutorial. So what did we just do? We just created 4 allocations for pad 1. One is a volume, one is the panning left and right, the other is the pad solo, and the other is the pad mute. Let me make sure that I allocated the correct button here. Pad mute. Okay. So now what we need to do is go to the pad menu. So we'll click on menu, and if you're in the main screen, you'll see this. We'll go to menu, then we'll go to pad mixer. Now we have pad 1 or A1 selected. At this point, we should be able to control the volume. As you can see, the knob going up and down. Now, while you're creating and when you're producing, it's good to be able to level and do somewhat of a nice mix, depending on how loud your sample is and things of that nature. So it's good to have a hardware, because I'm old school. Everything doesn't have to be digital with me. I do not sit on Fruity Loops and just edit with the mouse. So yeah, I need something to touch. All right. If you look here, you have your solo and your mute button. You have your panning here. As you can see, we allocated for the panning. I'll pan all the way right. I'll pan all the way left, and you'll see the left and right moving. And then I'll move back to center. I'll turn the pad mute and solo off. As you can see, when I turn it on, solo highlights here and here. Turn it off. Pad mute highlights here and here. So this is the basic way that you would map out MIDI functions with the controller. The controller that I have allows me to do separate scenes. So I'll go to scene 2, and it's a whole new set of controls here. It's like a new page, so I still have my main page, right? Um, just for kicks and giggles, I'll do page 3. Um, so at this point, I could map out all of my pads and give them all hardware functions where even if I'm in another page, I could still be tweaking the volume while I'm working on a different section of the track or the beat. Um, and also, it just gives uh, a good, I guess you would say, shaving of your time down when it comes to your creativity. So the next thing I'm gonna show you, I'm gonna go back to the main menu. Oops, go back to the main. I'll go to menu. I'll go back to MIDI control, and I'm going to create and highlight this allocation. I'm going to create the same functions for a program. So the reason why this is important to me, you can map out your freaking, you can map this thing out to set a bomb off if you want when you hit a pad. But for me, it's important for me to have control over my tracks and my pads. And when I say tracks, I mean the actual program itself, because sometimes I may just have a kick on one program and I'll have a snare on another program and I want to edit or real time control the velocity of the panning, or maybe even record live automation with the knob while I'm mixing. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna do is this allocation is not reading for some reason. Oh, I gotta turn on learn. I gotta take my own tutorial. Okay, so making sure I'm on track 3. I don't want to overwrite. Moving the fader, and this time I'm going to make the source program one, and make a good habit of naming your samples and naming your tracks. Actually, I'm gonna do that right now. I'm gonna edit the name of this program. That's wrong. uh, and I'll call it BRUH. All right, we'll do that. We'll go back to the menu, MIDI, and I don't think I changed the name of the program. We'll name this bruh as well. And this is just good over time so that when you start creating more and more files, um, you'll be able to out of menu, MIDI control, and then you'll see that the name changed to bruh here as well. Okay, I'm basically going to go through the same uh, functions. I'm going to make the volume from bruh be controlled here. I'll create a new one, turn on the learn function. I'll make this control the bruh program as well. This will be the panning. Create a new allocation. Oh, you can also flip signals. So once you check this flip box, it will reverse whatever function that you have programmed. So down is up is down, on is off, and off is on. Right is left, left is right when you flip it. Some controllers don't have the light or the on off function, and so that would be affected there. Um, there's several different ways. All of them don't come to mind. So I have my uh, volume, I have my panning for the program or the track. So next, I'm going to create um, the solo. So I'll go to source, bruh, and I'll go to solo. Create a new one, and I'll click on the bottom button, go to bruh, and this will be solo. Okay. Now we'll go back to the menu function, or again, main, menu. Then we'll go to channel mixer. Here we have our programs, and we have the bruh program on the first pad, which is also A1, but it's being used for a program right now, not a sample. And as you can see, I can control the volume here. Now, if you notice, if I go back to page, or if I go to page 4, it's not going to control anything because that signal has not been allocated, nor has it been mapped to a particular section. But if I go back to page 3, you can see that the volume is controlled, the panning is controlled, and also the solo and the muting is controlled. All right. So that's pretty much this tutorial, guys. I hope that helped, and I hope you guys bang out some dope beats. It's Bruh. Remember, I got a 5K giveaway, a Akai MPK mini play at 5,000 subscribers. Stay tuned for the promo video for that, and I'm out. Yeah, make sure you click on the ads on this video. Stay safe.